Hey guys, this is Loki Mischief Collectibles. I hope you had a good week. Got another Saturday here, and so I'm gonna do one video today. Probably try to do a couple videos tomorrow, but this video will cover, a few different things. First and foremost, the main part of this video will be discussing the Geiger and Stray Dogs paperbacks. But we'll also talk about a couple other things. I'm going to start making more videos during the week. It's just hard, I got three boys. An 8-year-old and a 4-year-old. So two of them. One is 19, but the younger ones are something else. And yeah, so it's I stay busy when I'm off. I always joke I'm not really off because I'm home doing work, man. But I've been actually having fun the last few days. My 8-year-old's sick, so he's been home. So on my days off during the day, which I usually try to get stuff done, but anyways, he was sick, so I decided to show him how to play Halo. So we were playing the campaign together, and it's actually local split screen on Xbox. So you can like play together on the same screen, which, I remember that from back in the day. It's just a lot of fun, playing with your friend or family member or whatever, dad and son. I played split screen with my oldest son, when he was younger. We played Halo. I played Halo with him too. He would play with me and my wife Halo Reach actually. So, it was a lot of fun. But it's fun playing with your kids when you get a chance. And if I'm not playing with the kids, I'm cleaning the house or I'm doing this or I'm doing that. There's just so much to do. I do my eBay. Check out Loki Mischief Collectibles on eBay, which it's not easy. eBay, anybody who's done eBay understands, it's an actual business, even though you're like sending stuff from your house and all that, sounds easy. You can just do it in your pajamas type of thing, but it's real work. I mean, you get an order in, I like to get mine out by the next day. If I get like an order today, late in the day, then I usually will send it Monday morning, but otherwise I try to get all my orders out the next day. So if I get a few orders, it's a little bit of work packing everything up, getting it all together, packing it up, and then getting it to the post office. It's not as easy as it sounds. And it's difficult turning a profit. That's not as easy as it sounds either, which is one of the first things that we'll talk about actually right now. So, talking about eBay, let's see here. All right. So when I was at, I basically today I went home really quick on my break, and then on my lunch break, and but then I was like, I have a few extra minutes really quick. I can just drop by the Goodwill, which isn't too far from work, and yeah, I just for like walking in there for 1 minute, this is what I found, which is a bunch of mangas. Now, these are interesting books. I don't read them. And this book reads from right to left. Well, anyways, these dang things I figured out, part of my secrets of eBay, which aren't really secrets to a lot of people, but these sell better and quicker than comics. So for example, these 5 right here, I didn't even have to look it up. But, when I got back to work off my lunch break, I looked at it really quick and on my phone and saw that, that these 5 are selling on eBay for anywhere from like, $30 to $50, right? I only paid for all of this stuff. I paid $12 because this particular Goodwill has a buy two get one. I don't always run into the manga stuff, but when I see it, like I said, I grab it. It sells very quickly. I usually will price things at the lower end just to get rid of them quicker, at least right now until my store is a lot larger. Maybe I'll price things higher. But that basically, when things are priced higher, they stay up longer. I mean, that's just the basics of it. It sounds crazy, but if you're willing to wait, you could probably get more money for something. But I like to flip things quick, make a profit. So like I said, these 5 books I probably paid $6 for. I don't know, but I'm gonna put them up for $32.99, and I promise you these will sell within a week. So that's kind of the way it goes. I'll make a cool, sending it media mail, which is a lot cheaper on post office. I'll end up making a pretty good, maybe like $15 profit. It's not a lot, but this kind of stuff, after all the fees and everything with eBay, but which is another story. But in the end, a $15 profit, even a $10 profit, is good. So if you're selling, I mean, like I said, if you want to make more money, then you price things higher and you wait longer. But I'm flipping things quick, so yeah. But these things sell quicker than comics. So found those at the Goodwill. These 2-year Robber, I haven't even looked these ones up. But because they're in very good condition, better condition than the other ones, definitely going to list these at $19.99. And I give it no more than 2 weeks. These will sell, maybe quicker. I don't know how rare this is. It's not it's not a good run like the other one where it's 1 through 5. This is just 1 and a 3. But I'll still put them up together, and I can almost guarantee you that I will sell these within 2 weeks at the longest, maybe sooner. So yeah, so again, it's just another little secret to eBay. I wanted to go to Ross today, but it's the end of the month, so I don't have as much money to just go into a store and just buy a bunch of stuff to put on eBay. So I try to do that like the first of the month, so when I get my big check. So in a week or so, I'll probably go to a couple Rosses. I usually go to 3 or 4 Rosses actually, and I'll just restock. I'll find a couple deals. You have to go to a few, but I'll find a couple deals, and then I'll flip those toys for a profit. In the end, it adds up. You're not going to make a lot of money if you're just talking about one thing, but if you're constantly buying things, flipping them, making 5, 10, $15, whatever it is, it adds up over a period. And it helps me. It keeps me going through the month. But anyways, and then, so this one I'm keeping. So they had to buy 2, get 3, and they only had 8 mangas, right? So, or wait, let's see here. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, 8. Yeah, so it's buy 2, get 1, and there was 8 mangas, right? So I had to get one more book, and all the other books were just garbage, man. So, I had to kind of get my free book. So what I found was Star Wars, A New Hope, The Life of Skywalker. So I looked on eBay. I could flip this one for, it's going to be up for a while. Let's just put it that way. It's just that the Star Wars market is just oversaturated. There's so much just content, and depending on what you have, right? But this isn't something, I saw one guy selling it with the, it actually had the sleeve on it, which this one doesn't have the sleeve. It's in good condition. That's for sure. But it doesn't have the sleeve on it that it originally had. So that being said, a guy that's selling it with the sleeve, is selling it for $10, and that's just not worth it for me. You can see the cover price here is $15.99. Came out in 2009. But like I said, the Star Wars market is just very much oversaturated. But guess what? I like Star Wars. So I'll probably read this and then I'll just hold on to it for a while. Might even just probably put it on eBay for, the cover was $15.99. I might throw it on eBay for $13.99. And just let it sit there for a couple years, or keep it. I don't know, man. But I had to take the free book. So, this was free. If I made $5 off it on eBay, that would be awesome. And the key to books, right? And comics too, really, which is kind of controversial. We can talk about that in a second. But when it comes to books, sending them on eBay is super cheap. The shipping is super cheap. And my problem is I'm an avid buyer on eBay, and I just believe as a buyer, my personal opinion is it should be free shipping for everything. Because it's like, I get the listing things at $24.99 or, just putting the 99 because it just looks nicer, right? It's kind of an American thing. It's hard to explain. When I was in Europe, everything was $20, $5, $10. It's just like an exact number. There's no 99. That being said, I just feel like everything should be baked in. Right? It's like when you go to Taco Bell and you get a $2.99 burrito and you pull up, but it's actually $3.28, right? Because of the sales tax or whatever. So you're just like, well, wait a minute, this burrito is not $2.99. I don't understand why things have to be overcomplicated, right? So I do get. I don't care either way. I mean, I do order a lot of things where people put shipping on it, and it's fine. It's fine. But my personal opinion is just that everything should be free shipping. I bake what I feel like the shipping is going to be into the price. So versus, say, I have a lot of 30 comics on eBay for $19.99 and I'm charging $5.99 shipping, right? I'm just going to put it up for $25.99. You see what I'm saying? And free shipping. And then, they can decide if it's worth it to them, basically. I would say the biggest issue with that is I do get a lot of people, and I'm in California, so I do get a lot of people like from Florida, New York, and I'm just like, oh my God, when they buy something, I just know that the shipping's going to be ridiculous. And it's unfortunate. I feel like eBay really needs to work on the shipping issues for sellers before they start losing them. Because we're just paying way too much in shipping. And that's why I do understand why a lot of people charge the buyer shipping, right? But I just feel like as a buyer myself, because I've been a buyer for many, many years on eBay. I just prefer free shipping because, I would rather, like I said, the price is just there. That's what it is. Am I willing to pay for that or not? You know what I mean? And that's just my personal opinion, but anyways, that's that's my thing. And so the good thing about books, like I said, is that the shipping is very low because you're sending it media mail, which basically means books, certain forms of music and stuff that doesn't have advertisements, basically. And that's where the controversy comes in with shipping comic books by media mail, right? Because they say you can't ship comic books by media mail because they have advertisements inside of them. So, that being said, if they find out somehow, which I guess they're allowed to open media mail packages sometimes, if they do find out somehow, if they suspect you of not sending just regular books and you're sending comic books, they could find that out, and then they will actually charge you or even the buyer who receives it the extra, whatever it is in shipping, Which it could be a lot depending on where you're sending it from if they catch you. So, but I've sent a few comics media mail because I've been trying to play around with things, and I've also read some things online where it's like one postal worker said we would never, uh, if we opened a package and it was full of power tools or some crazy something random and you're trying to send a media mail, then they would definitely gig that package, right? But if it was comic books, um, she just said, on this was on Reddit, and she said I've just never seen anybody gigged for that. We would literally have to open the comic book to see if there's advertisements inside, because even some comic books like reprints and stuff are, certain comic books actually don't have advertisements in them. Like the ones that I bought at Kohl's recently, it's like a package of basically reprints of number ones. I really like it. It's cool, but I noticed in none of those books there's no advertisements. So she made a good point that some comics don't have advertisements. Not many, but some do. So like trade paperbacks, for example, right, don't have advertisements. So that being said, she said they just don't. She's never seen that. She's never seen anybody gig a comic book. So fair enough. I haven't ran into an issue yet, and I buy a lot of comic books on eBay, and pretty much everybody sends it media mail. So we'll see. We'll see if an issue ever comes up. I'll bring it up with you guys. Just gonna grab a drink of water here because I'm just yapping it up today. It's a Saturday, right? Anyways, that's my whole eBay, talk. And eBay can be fun. I only sell, books, comic books, um, toys, and then you'll see some other random things on there. But generally, I'm not going to put up clothes. You will see it sometimes, if it's a really expensive piece of clothing or something, but I just don't like to mess with clothes. People are crazy, man. You catch a case over a $9.99, shirt that you sent somebody, and they're talking about it doesn't fit them and it's so many centimeters and this and that, it's just it's really stupid. The clothing game on eBay is ridiculous, and I don't know how anybody does it. I don't even care if you make money on it. I avoid selling clothes at all costs. Plus it's just not fun for me, man. I mean, it's not it's a second job. So selling on eBay, I want to be a little bit fun for me. I'm selling comics, I'm selling toys. When I'm at Kohl's, I'm having a good time looking through toys and stuff, and putting them up on eBay. It's just a lot of fun. Some of those toys, when my kids are really good, I literally can walk into the garage and grab a toy for each of them and just be like, hey, you guys were good today. Just take those toys off eBay. It's a crazy thing. It's just a really fun business. I really enjoy it. Yeah, but that's eBay, man. So check me out, Loki Mischief Collectibles. It was a good day for eBay catching those mangas. But let's talk about the most recent comics that I've gotten. My eBay. I buy a lot on eBay because I get super good deals. So I got this huge Batman lot. I think I talked about it in one of the last videos. This guy, more than half the comics, it was like a 64 lot. I won it. Obviously, he didn't get the deal he wanted because he put it up for auction late at night and just nobody cared, man. Nobody saw it but me, basically. And so I got the lot at a price. He just didn't want to sell it. So what he did was, to make up for it, he removed the bags and boards from like 40 of the 64 comics and just smashed all those perfect mint variants and all this stuff, Batman variants, and smashed them all together and threw them in a plastic bag and just sent them to me like that. I'm just like, oh my God, this guy is nuts. I mean, luckily, I mean, I don't know if he saved himself a few bucks. He just like, screw this guy. I'm going to keep all my bags and boards or something. And why take 40 out, but then leave 20? Why not? Why didn't he just remove all the comics from the bags and board? He's already being greedy, right? So, anyways, it's just annoying. But luckily, I went through that whole lot, and there was only one that had kind of a sketch. It was kind of bent on the corner, but the rest were still good. I just thought it was ridiculous. I don't know what this guy was thinking, but definitely wouldn't buy from that guy again. But that being said, the lot was still perfect, man, and a lot of cool things in the lot. But my favorite one from that lot is this one, or one of my favorites actually. But the one that I read last night. Now, I love Batman, anything Batman. I don't have to know what happened in the previous 5 issues, or what's even going on in the story to just jump into a Batman comic and enjoy it. And that's very rare with comics, right? I can't do that with other comics. Usually I can't just like jump into a story, and enjoy it. With Batman, I can. There's never been a Batman that I opened up where I was like, oh, this sucks, or where am I? But, I did not even understand a lot of the things that were going on in this book, right? Because like I said, it's number 126. I'm jumping in, but man, it was a good issue. And I had fun reading it. And so yeah, this was one of the ones I got in that big lot, which I might show that big lot, maybe another day. I don't think I want to do that lot this week. I'm still mad at that guy for not sending me all the bags and boards, man. That just made me mad. But yeah, this is like a hard cover here. Very nice. Fail safe. Yeah, see, this is where I'm talking about. The story jumps in where he's like, these are my soldiers, so I don't really know what's going on here. I need to get like my Batman storyline straight, because there's just so many different, but like I said, that's why I like Batman. That's why I enjoy Batman, because I don't really need to know. I can jump in. I could be like, this book is bad, right? I mean, look at this, look at the artwork. It's just fun to read, even though like I said, you just don't know. But Failsafe is a crazy villain, man. And but yeah, usually, I mean, always, right? Pretty much the Batman artwork is just ridiculous. Yeah, like Batman's trying to get his homies to just be like, to leave, because he's like, you can't handle Failsafe, man. What's wrong with you guys? You're not Batman. Because she gets busted up. Like he barely even touched her, and she gets busted up. So yeah, it is a really good book. We got Nightwing in here and Robin, and I just don't know the whole storyline, right? I just don't know. Because I'm jumping in, right? But it was a good book. Really like the cover and stuff. It looks cool, kind of retro, right? You got the retro Batman. Then it's a variant cover, which I always love the variants, man. But yeah, Failsafe. I mean, that's just, he jacked Batman up in this one, dude. Jacked him up. So I don't know. I'd like to see what the next issue is like. This is 126. I have to go through that lot that he gave me. I did already. I tried to sort it out. I tried to sort out some Batmans last night, and I just have so many. I might have 127 in there. But yeah, that's one that I got recently. Just read it last night. A lot of fun. Love Batman. I read at least one Batman a day. Even if I already read it, I just read Absolute Batman, Arkham Asylum number one, I don't, that's all I got. That's all I got is number one. I actually had the regular Absolute Batman number one, like freaking 13th print or something. I bought it because I wanted to read it. It was so good. But my son said he wanted to collect Absolute Batman. So I was like, all right, all right. So I gave it to him. I gave it to him, man. And he's 19, so it's harder to give the younger ones comics right now. But eventually, I'll be like that with them, where I'll have like a little comic box for them because I bought him a comic case thing that he can put all his comics and stuff in, and then I can give him a comic every once in a while. You know what I mean? Not every once in a while because I like to keep my comics, but you know what I'm saying. Just joking. They're all gonna get my comics when I die, so it's their comics anyways. Dad's just keeping them safe. Dad's just keeping them safe. So, but yeah, my son likes Wonder Woman. He likes a lot of different stuff, but he likes Batman just like me. I mean, how do you not like Batman, right? So then this is the other thing that I got off eBay about a week ago. And this was another, and because I buy a lot, I get a lot of crazy deals on eBay on comics. And so I buy a lot of these things and they're crazy, crazy deals. And to be honest, in the last 3 months, I haven't bought anything on eBay that I didn't use the money that was actually on eBay. My eBay balance, meaning whatever I was selling was giving me the money to buy the comics. So it's kind of self-sustaining me selling on eBay and then taking a little bit of the profit just to get some comics every once in a while, if you get what I'm saying. So it makes a lot of sense for me, but I found this one, this is about a couple weeks ago, and then it had been, I want to say like 5 days. And a lot of things happen. I understand. But it seems to happen to me a lot where I'll buy something and then it's like radio silence. And I think just a lot of sellers have different stuff going on, different issues come up. They're not like me where they're just on eBay every day, you know, double, triple checking, making sure things go out the next day. Some people don't care, man. They don't care if it ships out in a week. They'll get it to you when they feel like getting it to you. So, fair enough. This isn't Amazon. But I would say as a seller, the least you should do is just communicate with the buyer. If it's been 2 days, you haven't even purchased the shipping label or anything yet, just message the buyer and say, hey, man, I got this or this going on, or hey, I'll ship it out Friday morning. But I wouldn't even care if it was 6 days away. If you let me know exactly what's going to happen instead of just going radio silent, then I would feel a lot better. So this is one of those guys that, 5 days didn't get shipped out. I had to message them and then they ended up shipping it out and it got here pretty quick. So that was fine. But sometimes you just got to communicate with them. I didn't know if maybe he thought I got too good of a deal because I only paid $10 for these. So let me show it to you. So this is part of the Massive Verse, the Radiant Black. I haven't read any of these yet, but I just saw this and it was such a good deal. I had heard about the free agents, so I decided to pick it up. So it's 1 through 7. It's the complete series. So here's number 1. Here's number 2. Number 3. Number 4 with Radiant Black on the cover, which is nice. Love me some Radiant Black. Number 5. Number 6. And number 7. So yeah, pretty cool pickup, pretty cool deal. Like I said, $10 out the door. I believe it was like $9.99 for the whole thing, but after tax I probably paid like over 10, like almost $11 or something like that. A little over 10 with tax. But essentially it was 7 comics for $10, and I read some good things about it. Some people like it, the artwork and stuff like that. But I also read some stuff that, people just didn't like it. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm cool with it. Like I said, I didn't pay much for it, so no worries. Um, and then the last thing that I just got and I just read was Geiger. So really, really good book. And I'm not going to go too specific on the story. I think I get a little too into the story sometimes, and then I kind of mix things up. I would like people to just read things, take my word for it. If I tell you it's good, I show you a few things. But I don't want to get too specific with the story. I mean, if you disagree with me, say something in the comments like, nah, man, I want you to talk about every page. But you get what I'm saying. I'll just try to tell you a few little highlights. And then, you decide from there. If I tell you it's a good book, though, it's a good book. I'm not lying to you. I don't have no reason to lie to you. I'll tell you if it's boring or something like that, man, because I read a lot of books. I read a lot of, paperbacks, comics, especially recently. But yeah. So Geiger, yeah. So I got this one, pretty good deal. It was only $6. I think I talked about it in one of my previous videos. I was worried when it showed up, if it would be in good condition, and because it's always hit or miss, or not always, but sometimes it's hit or miss on eBay if they put stock, especially if they put stock photos. And this one had a stock photo up, like basically the seller was too lazy. The seller was too lazy to take a picture, right? So they just went on Google or whatever and typed in Geiger Volume 1 and then downloaded a stock photo, and or they just had a stock photo up on eBay, which they do sometimes that too. So but yeah, just too lazy to put, and I'm not the type of person, I don't want to waste all my time sending messages to sellers like, hey, can you send me a photo? Because then they'll send you a photo of like this corner, right? And then you're sending another message talking about, well, can you send a picture of this corner? So, I'm not playing that game, man. I don't even message sellers nonsense like that. That's another thing about selling clothes, man. And you have anything close up, people will message you the silliest nonsense. Can you measure the neck? Blah, blah. Like, look, man, I'm not measuring the neck. Are you kidding me, dude? Like, how much money do you think I make on eBay? Then I'm gonna go get that. I'm gonna go spend 10 minutes of my day, go get the measuring tape and go find that shirt, because this one person who may or may not buy this shirt wants to know what the neck size is. You get what I'm saying? It don't make any sense at all. And some people might do that, but I'm not doing it. Yeah. So, like I said, what I do if somebody asks me a stupid question like that, I just don't answer. I'm not going to be rude, but I just don't answer. I don't got no time for that, man. Usually, actually, I'll block them because I just don't want people like that. I don't want somebody to buy a shirt and then I get a message when they get it. Oh, the neck size is a centimeter, is 3/4 of a centimeter too large for my neck. Like, look, dude, give it a rest. So anyways, yeah. So Geiger came, even though it had stock photos, I was slightly concerned. Perfect condition. And they said it was in very good condition. This is actually in excellent condition. So I'd say it's better than very good. Like new. I mean, this is basically what it would look like if you bought it from the store. So I'm happy with it. I read it the first night that I got it. And it was good. It was good. I was so happy with the story, man. I can't even tell you. The artwork was just wonderful. The story is just heart-wrenching, just really about this guy who just tries to save his family from nuclear apocalypse, and thinks that for many years, that he's protecting them. They're like inside the bunker, right? He's just making sure nobody goes inside the bunker. He's just keeping them safe inside the bunker, only to find out, a long time later, that they're dead inside, that they've been dead inside since the bombs dropped. You can see the artwork is it's just ridiculous. That's the bomb dropping right there, man. He basically was caught outside when the bombs dropped. He got his family into the bunker. There's more to the story, but like I said, I'm not gonna be too specific. You know, he finds out. Like I said, he finds out later, and that's what essentially drives him at this point, and will drive him further on. As a superhero, is the fact that he lost his family. Um, that loss is going to hit him hard, and a lot of people are going to pay for that. Look at this artwork, man. But yeah, he got radiated because he was outside, and it turns him into this cool, radiated. He's like a superhero now. Not your typical superhero. But man, I'll tell you, it's just really, really good. Um, Junkyard Joe is in this. A whole nother story. But anyways, it was good, man. Literally read this whole book in a couple hours, a little over 2 hours, because I kept getting up and doing other stuff. I can read very fast, but I also like to look at the artwork. So, I'm not in a big rush. But it took me a while. I mean, it's issues 1 through 6, right? So it took me a little while. But Jeff Johns, great writer. The artwork is just ridiculous. But I enjoyed Geiger just about as much as I enjoyed Rook Exodus, which is in the same universe, right? So yeah, really good. The Ghost Machine universe. I really enjoyed Volume 1. I'm gonna pick up Volume 2 soon. And when I mean soon, I get paid next week. So this is definitely gonna be one of my buys, man. I'm gonna get Volume 2, the trade paperback, because man, I just loved reading it. And in trade paperbacks, it's gonna be, if I really like something, but I just feel like I don't have enough money because I'm already collecting comics of something else that I really like, because I can't possibly collect comics of everything. So like there's certain things that take precedence, anything Batman, Radiant Black I'm trying to collect, Rook Exodus I'm trying to collect. There's just a few, right? So the point being is I'm going to focus on those things, and sometimes I'll get some cool random lots on eBay. But besides that, if I really want to read something and I really think I'll like it, I'm just going to buy the trade paperback, because that's just a way of saving money, essentially. Because it collects, Geiger 1 through 6, which if I bought Geiger 1 through 6 just in the comic book, I definitely wouldn't have paid $6 for it, right? Because I paid $6 for this on eBay. So I could almost bet you that I'll find Volume 2 for $10 or less. So it's just a better deal. I'm not going to do the omnibus. I'm not going to do the omnibus thing. It's not even really about money, because really, if you think about it, if you get an omnibus which covers like 1,000,000 issues, you're saving even more money. So omnibuses, if you think about it, if you just get like one omnibus, say if I just got my paycheck every month and I just bought an omnibus, I'll be saving a whole bunch of money versus getting them all in comics or even the trade paper. It saves more money than the trade paperbacks, because the trade paperbacks only cover 1 through 6. The omnibus will cover, I don't know, 40 issues. I don't know, but my point is, the omnibuses for me are just too big and bulky. Not fun to read because of that, right? If it was like this small of a book, then I could handle it. But omnibuses are this size, and they're like this thick. You know what I mean? And like almost like this down here, which is that's something else. It's not actually a book, but again, I'm saying it's like that size, or even bigger. Even bigger. I've seen omnibuses even bigger, and for me, because I like to read my comics and stuff, sometimes multiple times if I really like it. I'll find myself reading things over and over. So, that being said, omnibus, it's just too, like I said, it's just too big and bulky. It's not my thing. Same thing with really just all hardcovers. I'll get a hardcover here and there. That's cool. But my main focus is regular comic books and trade paperbacks because they're just the right size. You know, it's just like a comic book, right? Just a little bit bigger. Just obviously, you know, the size of six comic books together, and it's not too big. And that's why I like it. That's why I like it. I really do enjoy, you know, the trade paperbacks. But yeah, so Geiger, probably get volume two when I get my paycheck in a few days. Um, Spoil myself for $8 because I know it's not gonna be that much. I'll probably pay $8 for it, man. Um, let's see here, Stray Dogs. All right, so yeah, Stray Dogs. I finally finished it. I think I talked about in a previous video about this one as well. I just didn't finish it. Something happened or whatever. Anyways, this is wild. This is a wild book. Um, it essentially turns out, you know, I'm not gonna give you the whole story, but this one dog like realizes that its new owner killed its old owner. Right now, for some reason, all these dogs, because this guy has a lot of dogs. They can't. None of them can remember this guy murdering their former owner, even though they all saw it. Right? It's like they're basically reminded by different things, and then they're like, "Oh, I remember he did kill my owner." You know, like a scarf or a picture to make them remember. So it's very interesting because at first it's just this dog who remembers, but all the rest just don't remember. They don't remember this guy that they're living with, who's their owner. Is basically this guy's a serial killer. He's killed all their owners and then took them. Um, so it's a pretty wild book. Um, you know, there's one part where because they're all questioning their own memory, right? And when I'm going through the book, I'm thinking, what is he doing? Like, is he putting something in the food to make them lose their memory? Like, why don't they remember this guy killing their owner? That's like a mystery to me for a while there. And anyways, none of them they just keep forgetting or they're just remembering pieces. Well, finally, they go to where he took this one dog. And this is like kind of a shocking moment where like they walk in and that dog is like freaking skinned and you know his head is like hanging on a thing and there's other dogs in there hanging on, you know, their heads are hanging off the hanging from the ceiling. um so it turns out like he's been killing like all these people, taking their dogs and then also killing them. But the reason that these dogs don't this is the crazy part to me, and it took I must be stupid or something, but it took me until the end to realize that the reason these dogs don't remember that this guy killed their owner is very simple, right? Dogs don't have good memories. So it's kind of a wild concept at the end where I'm thinking like this guy's poisoning them so they don't remember, but it just turns out that they're just dogs. And so they just don't remember that type of shit. This, you know, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to use foul language, but this guy, you know, he basically I thought he was putting something in the food, but he's just being a regular owner to them. He feeds them. You know, he's giving them food, so they think that everything's honky dory. But what he's really been doing is killing the owners and then slowly but surely slaughtering the dogs. So these dogs figured out they're going to be next. And so after figuring out that they were going to be next, you know, they killed the guy, whatever. And So yeah, it's a very interesting. Well, I don't know if they killed him because I remember they bit his neck. Anyways, point is they get him, and the cops end up figuring out that he's a serial killer and all that. And the part at the end where the main dog is at a park with her new owner or whatever, right? Or his new owner or whatever, or her new her. It's a her, so she's playing with her new owner. This is right at the end, and she's playing with this guy. I think it's this guy. In the is this guy or this guy? She's playing with one of these dogs at the park, right? I think it's this guy. And but she can't seem to remember where she knows him from. And he even says, "Don't I know you from somewhere?" That's where it all clicked, bro. Where I was like, "Oh, okay." So the reason why none of these, I say cats, right? About people, I could call them cats, but I mean these dogs. The reason they can't remember this guy killing their owners is because dogs just have bad memories. What the? Oh my god, that got me at the end where I was just like, this is crazy. So after they still don't remember who each other is at the end, and she ends up just they kind of look at each other, and then she just wanders off with her new owners. So it's basically whoever's feeding them. That's what they remember. Kind of reminds me of my cats, right? Because both cats I found, they were not really alley cats, but I found them on the street, and we treat them really good and stuff. They live with us now, and they kind of come in and out, but I don't know what they were doing before they met us. You know what I mean? Especially Mingo, because he was a little bit older. Not older, I mean maybe a year, but he had been out there for a while. Like, what did he have previous owners? I don't even know, man. But we just found him on the street. He was hungry. We took him in, and that's that. So, but yeah, it's crazy. Getting all the way to the end and then realizing, oh yeah, the reason they can't remember nothing is because they're freaking dogs. So, very interesting book. It was just, it was just a short run. It was just, just for the story. This isn't like a regular ongoing series type thing, but man, was it good. It was so good. And the artwork was good. I'm not usually into like mysteries and stuff like that. But I had read that this was pretty awesome, and I had like the comic, the number one. So I had really liked when I read the number one, I was like, this is good. Or it's gonna be good. And so I got this one, which covers the 5-issue miniseries. And I liked it, man. It was great. Like I said, don't usually like mysteries, but the writer on this one was really good. I love a good writer. So yeah, that pretty much sums it up. I hope everybody enjoyed the video. I didn't mean to go too long, but I was just having fun today. And I'll follow up tomorrow with maybe another video or two, and then like I said, I'm gonna start hitting some videos during the week. Just talk about, I like to talk about a lot of random stuff, but it's mostly going to be about comics. When I make videos, it's mostly about comics. Sometimes talk about eBay and stuff, because I want to plug my eBay a little bit, which is Loki Mischief Collectibles. Check me out. I always have toys, comics, and then a bunch of other stuff, like I was talking about with the manga. I even got manga up there, if you like manga. That stuff sells, man. But what I need to sell more of is the comics, but I just need to make room, man. I'm getting a lot of comics in my garage, so, check me out. All my comic deals are awesome. Plus, I include some comics. So you're going to feel pretty happy when you get that bundle in the mail. And I really didn't even make that much money off of it after eBay's fees and shipping and stuff, which don't even get me started, man. So anyways, I hope you guys are having a good Saturday. I'll check in with you again tomorrow. Watch out for me. And I hope you all have a good night. Peace.